Welcome to the Leaders Insights podcast. Today's episode, Data Mesh versus Data Lakehouse. What CDOs actually need to decide in 2026. CDOs are still debating data mesh versus data lakehouse in 2026, and frankly, that surprises me. Haven't we had enough time to figure this out?
The debate persists because most organizations made their initial bets in 2022 and 2023 based on vendor pitch decks, and now they're living with the consequences. What's changed is that the consequences are visible. You can actually measure where the architectural choice created value and where it created debt.
So what does that debt look like in practice?
Take a large European retailer I worked with last year. They went all in on data mesh, stood up 12 domain teams, built federated governance on paper. 18 months later, 7 of those domains had no active data products, and the central team was still resolving schema conflicts manually every sprint. The organizational model outran the organizational readiness.
And the lakehouse camp isn't doing better?
Some are, some aren't. The lakehouse architecture, Databricks and Snowflake, are the two obvious reference points here, and both publish their own performance benchmarks, so take those with appropriate skepticism. Solves the technical unification problem elegantly. One query engine, one storage layer, reasonable cost structure. Where companies stall is governance. They build a beautiful technical foundation and then discover they have no decision rights framework for who owns what data, who can certify quality, who gets to deprecate a table. That's not a technology problem.
So is this actually an either-or decision, or have we moved past that framing?
The sharp CDOs in 2026 have moved past it. JP Morgan's data organization, for example, runs a lakehouse as the physical infrastructure layer and applies mesh principles, domain ownership, federated governance with central standards as the operating model on top. The architecture and the organizational design are separate variables. Conflating them is where the real mistake happens.
Where does that leave a CDO who's mid-implementation, maybe 2 years into a mesh rollout that isn't delivering?
First, audit what you actually have versus what you planned. Most mesh implementations I've reviewed have 1 or 2 high-functioning domains and a long tail of theoretical ones. Rather than burning the whole thing down, consolidate. Make those 1 or 2 domains genuinely excellent, documented, SLA-backed, discoverable. Then use that as the template for expansion. Visible success within your organization is more persuasive than any architecture diagram.
What about the CDOs who haven't committed yet? Are they actually in a better position?
Potentially, yes, but only if they use the time well. The organizations that delayed have the advantage of watching others fail, but I see a lot of them now rushing to catch up and making the same shortcuts. The window where delayed entry is an advantage closes fast.
Final word. One thing a CDO should do this quarter?
Map your data domains against actual business decisions, not technical systems. If you can't name the business decision each domain supports, you don't have a domain. You have a data warehouse with a new label.
To go further, Leaders Insights offers strategic training programs, diagnostic tools, and an executive self-assessment designed for CMOs, CDOs, CFOs, and leaders aiming for board-level performance. Explore everything at mba-training.com. Thank you for listening to the Leaders Insights podcast. See you tomorrow for another episode.